Hi, welcome again to Phoenix English. I'm Omid. I have another great lesson for you today based on a few requests of my students. Today, we are going to look at collective nouns. An example of a collective noun: staff, police, audience, family. These are nouns that might include individual members or be looked at as a whole unit. Okay? So, staff means the total group of employees, or it could mean each individual employee. So now you're thinking, okay, well, good, what's the problem? The problem is, what verb do you use with these nouns? Do you use a singular verb or do you use a plural verb? Okay, so for example, do you say, the staff was invited to the barbecue? Or do you say, the staff were invited to the barbecue? I'm afraid I have to tell you there is actually no rule that decides this. What decides this is you. What do you want to say? What is your intention? Do you want to talk about individuals or do you want to talk about the group? So, for example, look at this sentence. My staff consists of young and old alike. Alike is basically like both young and old. Now, why am I using the singular? Because here I'm talking about my entire staff, my whole collection of employees, right? So I'm probably going to use the singular because I'm talking about the one unit. Here, I could say both. I could say my staff, my entire unit of employees, or I could talk about all the individual people who work for me were invited to the barbecue. So again, it's more about what you want to say, what you intend. Here's another example. My family are going to be citizens soon. My family was invited to a wedding. I have a plural, I have the singular. It depends what you want to say. My family means all the members of my family are going to be citizens soon. It makes a bit more sense when you also have the plural here. Are and citizens. It sounds a little bit more natural. My family was invited to the wedding. So when the invitation came, the whole family members are cordially invited to attend the wedding. So the same thing goes for police, audience, couple, faculty, lots of collective nouns. Depends what you want to say. Now, usually, and keep in mind this is also difficult for native English speakers to decide which one. Keep in mind that usually in the US and Canada, most people will automatically choose the singular. The staff is. The police is. Again, depending on the situation. In the UK, they will naturally or usually go for the plural. The staff are. The police are. Now again, let's look at police. I'll give you two examples. Somebody was bothering my neighbor. Okay? They were like making noise. My neighbor asked the person to leave. The person wouldn't leave, so she called the police. They, the police, they came and removed the person. But I have to be very careful driving these days because the police is cracking down on texters, people who drive and text. I don't do that, but I've seen them around, right? So you have to be careful which meaning you want to use. Sometimes it'll be very natural, like I would only use the singular here because I'm talking about the whole unit. Here, both okay. Do you want to talk about the individuals? Do you want to talk about the group, the whole group? Now, if you want to be specific, if you very clearly want to show that you're talking about the individuals, add a word: staff members, family members, police officers. If you add these words that show the individuals, you will have absolutely no problem. If I say staff members, obviously the verb will be plural because this is now the main subject. And staff becomes the adjective. Family becomes the adjective. Okay? If I say police officers, police becomes the adjective. This is my subject. And I'm going to use a plural verb. If I want to say one person, one police officer, then of course I'm going to be using the singular. Okay? So again, very straightforward. Whatever you intend to say, that's what will help you choose the verb. And of course, visit my YouTube channel, subscribe if you like, and I'll see you again real soon.